Good morning, nation. Keith Billis, Timothy Goebel, and of course, Mr. C. Marty Fit. What's going on, gentlemen?
What's going on?
What's going on? Not too much here.
How are you guys today? Hey, so we're here to talk about with Nathan Hirsch joining us later this morning, how to build business systems with Nathan Hirsch. Exactly. And Timothy Goebel is joining us right now to kick into a conversation about the brand new ChatGPT. Nerd note yesterday, I think we're going to add that little droid to our show, C. Marty Fit. As well, today, we're going to get into an accountability check-in, the 16-minute mark of the show. That one, nation, I got a hook for you. C. Marty, the number one skill you need to be a creator on LinkedIn, we're going to talk about today at 7:16 mark. And it's not what you think. It's absolutely not what you think. Yeah, true story. And then later on, 7:30 at the 30-minute mark, Nathan Hirsch joining us. We're going to talk business systems. And then along the way, Timothy Goebel is going to weave in and hang out with us, C. Marty. We're going to talk AI, ChatGPT, the new announcements yesterday. Obviously, what's going on, Tara LaFawn? Gooch, boom, C. Marty Fit, our beast.
What's up, Tara? Tara's the GOAT.
Tara is the GOAT, 100%.
Tara's the GOAT, yeah.
Tim, you got to meet Tara. She joined us on Friday, I think it was. She joined us in front and hung out and co-hosted the show with us. So we got ChatGPT. I'm excited about that. We got Nathan Hirsch, excited about that. We have accountability, and we're not talking butts today, C. Marty Fit. That was yesterday's chat we didn't have.
Come on, man. Come on, Keith. What are we doing here?
Well, it's funny. Hey, Timothy Goebel, we had a chat yesterday on the show, and we were looking for headlines, and one of them was, and we're not going to dig into it today, but apparently in the NFL draft this year, Timothy Goebel, there was a desire for men with high butts.
Wow.
We're not going to take that apart this morning. We're not going to crack it open this morning, C. Marty Fit.
No, I don't want to talk about that at all, ever.
Oh, man. And yesterday, C. Marty, Natasha Wallstra's birthday, we used this cord to phone her. And she didn't answer, but C. Marty, she saw the note yesterday evening and she said, "Oh, I missed that." And then she heard the voicemail and she's like, "Oh, you guys phoned me." I'm like, "Yeah, we did." So she gave us a little shout out on LinkedIn yesterday where, hey, if you got a birthday, look out for the cord. Keith and Marty might call you out and make a phone call on the show.
Just something else, man.
We got to keep people going here in the morning. It's that accountability-ness, right? Hey, you guys notice you got some trap here this morning? Yeah. Just a little bit of a different vibe this morning. I just was feeling a little different vibe. I was kind of feeling like techno, AI, kind of future shit. Sorry, Nicole's not here, C. Marty, so I'm already sucking the in and out.
You've been letting it go, man.
Oh, my goodness.
You've been letting it go.
Tim Goebel, where are you joining us from today, man?
I'm joined from Wisconsin, from Niagara Falls, Wisconsin.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
At least it's not winter time. That's all I got to say.
Oh, are you suggesting it might be winter where I live? I'll tell you right now, my friend, it's actually nice, balmy, I don't know, maybe 13 degrees Celsius. So what is that, about 50 degrees, C. Marty?
I think something like that.
Yeah, C. Marty, yeah. So, Marty, I see you were up late last night. I got a message from you in the middle of the night.
No, that was waking up.
All right, well, there you go. So he wakes up in the middle of the night. That's it. That's it. So, Tim, I wanted you to join this morning. I put out a quick call to action yesterday over on LinkedIn, looking for experts in the AI space to talk about the announcement yesterday. And before we do that, let's get into a quick little who's Timothy Goebel. So, Tim, you are straight out of Madison, Wisconsin, as you said, and you are an AI expert, et cetera, but talk a little bit about Tim Goebel. Transform your business with cutting-edge computer vision, edge AI solutions. John Kraske, not John Krasinski, said, hey, you got to connect with Goebel. You moved your schedule around, and you are sitting here, myself, City Marty Fit this morning. Who's Tim Goebel?
I'm just a normal person. I feel like I do a lot of AI. I crack it open all the time and I work with it. I help businesses. Been doing it for over 10 years. Done everything they could imagine, everything from vision to non-vision to medical, non-medical. I don't think there's one area of AI I haven't touched yet.
Is there, so yesterday, big announcement, from ChatGPT and OpenAI. Obviously, we are all assuming in advance of what's being announced today by Google and what's coming up in the next couple of weeks with Apple. Tell the world what happened yesterday with OpenAI and ChatGPT, and what did they announce?
And they announced the new GPT 4.0 release, and it's free. And it's the features in it is unbelievable. Where text is, you could do Google, you could do stack of money. It's like huge.
Hey, see, Marty. Hey, Tim, I think you broke up there. See, Marty, did you get that, or did Tim break up on us?
Yeah, you broke up, Tim.
Yeah, I think Tim might be caught in the internet there. He might be caught in the AI internet. It's funny, see, Marty. So people don't know when they come in the lab that we like to show love through teasing. And I'm just starting to wonder whether Tim's actually on the internet or he just plugged in Wisconsin with a can and a cord or something.
No, I'm plugged in. My internet kind of drops out, so I end up shutting down a lot of stuff in my browser just now.
That's all right. That's all right. So let's go back into it. So talk about the brand new ChatGPTs released yesterday. It's multimodal, meaning that it analyzes audio, video, text, and produces. But continue on with your thought process, Tim.
Yeah, so it can analyze even emotions. You could have it look at you and tell you what your emotion is. And they use that, Azure has that, and either some other companies have it, but they actually put it onto a device now where it's running on using ChatGPT 4.0. So now you could do so much more. And now the businesses out there, it opens up many doors for it, the use cases for it, with all the stuff that's opened with it, with speech to text attacks. You could have open up one ChatGPT on one phone and have it on another phone and have it talk back and forth. I've seen it already. There's so much out there that can be done. Voice analysis. What else can it be pushed? It's just a game changer for all these businesses out there now.
Where do you think it has? Where do you think it has an implication day to day as ChatGPT rolls this upgrade out?
Day to day, man, I see it being used in multiple areas on day to day, especially in businesses. They're leveraging computer vision, like the math stuff. They just showed it being able to do math. They had a thing out there before even ChatGPT 4.0 got was photo math. They incorporated something similar to photo math, but even better. So now it's like, what else can it do? It could tell you exactly what's written out. You could use all that in day-to-day businesses to read documents if you need it to be. Especially if you have trouble reading. I mean, it'll help out with that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. See, Marty, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, so now with all the updates, do you think now it's like necessary for every business to have it, or is it kind of like you're going to get left in the dust if you don't adapt?
If you don't start leveraging some of it, you will be left behind. So I feel businesses need to start playing with it now before they get left behind, because then once they start playing with it later down the line, it's going to be a catch up. They're going to try catching up. All AI is advancing every day, so they have to be on board now.
That makes sense.
You work out, you're into fitness, or believe it or not, there's a ton of AI in that realm too. That's being
I've seen it. Yeah.
I've played with it, and that's why I'm like, man, I even seen it in media already too. Like I said, there's not one area I haven't played with it in that area yet.
That's pretty cool, man.
Were you surprised to see what came yesterday from ChatGPT?
I was shocked because I wasn't expecting that. Someone shared a link to me, sent it to me, and told me to get on and start watching it. So I did. I was like, man, I've been talking to people before even that even dropped, that models and AI should start doing stuff like that. And all of a sudden this drops and it's like, oh, it's already here.
Yeah. It's you look at the devices like the AI pin was released here in the last couple of weeks. You look at the Rabbit R1 and you look at them and they're really Android OSs with cameras attached to them and software underneath them. Really saw the power yesterday of what's something baked from inside with ChatGPT and OpenAI. And it really allows your imagination, doesn't it, Tim, to go to a place where you can see Joni Ive and Altman and the gang developing a device that is very simple. It's maybe just a camera with a screen. It's very futuristic. And I made this comment before, but could you imagine being Joni, who has changed the world, designing this device, and then 20 years later goes out again and designs the next device that changes the next generation of the world? It's a pretty cool legacy, no?
Man, it's a game changer on all aspects. Imagine these apps now that are coming out. They're going to be updating these apps massively, especially with the new ChatGPT coming that came out. You're going to see new apps coming and new technology to be used with it. And even in the medical industry, it's going to be game changing in there.
Yeah, and I'll tell you how so see, Marty, I was joking at the beginning, but I'm serious. So here's my plan with the new GPT. My thought process is I'm going to set it up right here. I'm going to have it facing you and me, Marty, and I'm going to plug it in, and I'm going to add it to our show, because it'll be able to see you and I, and it'll be able to engage with you and I. And then my intention is that I will weave it in. It'll be Mornings in the Lab with Keith, See Marty Fit and friends, and this will be one of our friends, because it'll be able to interact with the screen, interact with you, watch our facial emotions, and actually just weave it into the dialogue. So that is the ambition. No, I'm not being fooled. That is my ambition. My plan.
Yeah, he'll be able to detect when you're done talking. It'll kick right over to him as soon as he starts talking. It'll be able to go back and forth with no issues. It'll be seamless.
Yes. So that's my plan, and is to weave it right into how we run the business here and continue embracing it. And I think that's so I'm a nerd, and I'm pleased to be a nerd, but that's where I think people get really caught up, is that what we're looking at right now is never going to get any dumber than what it is right now.
No, it's just going to get smarter. If you think about it, look where Alexa started off at, and now look where it's at. Now look where ChatGPT started. Look where it's at now. The data is just keeps growing. So they're always training models, building new models, fine-tuning these models to make them better. So you can just imagine it's just going to get better.
I had this conversation. What's going on, Alex Tanoa? Good morning, my friend. Welcome to the live. Welcome to a conversation with myself, Timothy Goebel, See Marty Fit. We are chatting.
What's up, Alex? How you doing, Alex?
We are chatting about ChatGPT, the brand new model yesterday, 4.0, which was released. I was nerding out over it, waiting for it to come out, and then I logged into GPT last night, saw that I had it, but was disappointed, Tim, to recognize that it didn't have the real-time video feed just yet. And I guess
they said they're gonna release some of the stuff slowly out there.
Yes.
So I wish they had the video feed one too, because I'm a video person. I love playing with videos every day. So
yeah, Keith and Marty aren't video people at all. No, we like to record and stay off of our camera.
I got into video even more because my kid, I was like, man, can I use a camera to analyze? He's an underground dance artist. And I was like, can I analyze his stuff? And I was able to pull it off. It was just amazing. And my son, he travels all over the US and all over the world. And he's only 20.
So hold on. Did you say your son's an underground dance artist and you were using AI computer vision to analyze his dance?
Yeah, to analyze his dance moves and see, and he does. He crumps. His name's Dice in the dance world. And I was like, man, can I do this? And his coach got me to try it. He was like, yeah, you should try it, see if it'll work. And pulled it off. I was like, all right, what else can I do? So if I was able to do that, I know this new vision stuff of ChatGPT stuff is going to start growing massively.
That's really slick. That's
crazy, man. That's insane.
So that's why I bring up, you guys you're in media, you're in fitness. Just by talking, just imagine you'll be able to have eventually ChatGPT will be able to host your own show for you. You can just have it automatically set up and it'll host it for you for yourself. You can have an image.
That's certainly the intention here in the lab, Tim and See Marty Fit. Listen, so let's come back to computer vision. Let's come back to AI. Let's come back to how businesses are going to weave it into the world. Some of what we think is going to happen with the future GPT-4, and obviously around the corner, Tim, is GPT-5. But before we do that, See Marty, why don't we get into, it's that time of the hour, why don't we get into our accountability check-in?
Let's do it.
I have something to talk about this morning, which is, do you want to be a successful LinkedIn creator? I think many do. The skill to be required to be one, I believe, is very different than what y'all think it is. Because you need to master one thing. Is it being the hardest worker in the room? Is it outworking C. Marty Fit and Keith Billis? It's crucial. But there's more to the story, C. Marty. You got to show up consistently. Yeah, it makes a difference. But I'm telling you, it's not the complete picture. You got to create great content. We try. We absolutely try. It's necessary, but something is still missing, guys. There's something absolutely still missing. If you want to be an awesome LinkedIn creator on this platform, you need one thing. And it's very human related, especially in a conversation of AI today, guys. It's empathy. Because without it, nothing else I've talked about matters. Because everything
wasn't expecting that one.
It's true though. It's true because empathy, see Marty, it builds genuine relationships. And in a world of AI generated content and the stuff we're talking about right now, where we're talking to screens and we're referring to movies like Her, where humans are having relationships with bots, empathy builds meaningful relationships. It encourages meaningful engagement. Marty, when I look in your eyes and I see something's up and I offer some empathy to you, we have an engagement, we have a human connection. And most importantly, Tim, it helps you build a passionate community. It really does when you think about it, right? When you can be really human. And see, Marty, I know you like to have a lot of fun with people and sometimes people don't know how to take you, but at the end of the day, you're a human with a big heart who leads with empathy. And it's like, hey, this is how I show my love, right? It's you creating a meaningful engagement relationship with somebody, and we all just do it in certain ways. Yep. Tim comes in the lab and we throw him under the bus 2 minutes in because that's how we show love, but we're doing it with empathy.
Yeah, good.
It's not our fault to see Marty that he lives in Wisconsin and his internet doesn't work, but we're leading with empathy. We're empathetic to it. We're empathetic to the fact that he's in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin didn't catch up to the AI yet. They still got some work to do.
That's it. So I remind everybody tuning in right now for your morning accountability check-in. And Shannon Houchin, if you're checking in this morning, because I know you like to join us on the road. See, Marty, Shannon's on like this marathon trail here. We'll talk about more. We'll talk about Shannon more tomorrow. But Shannon, if you're tuning in, our accountability check-in today, empathy, not just another skill, nation. It's the core of success.
I like that.
So there's your accountability check-in. Tim Goebel, we go with one every single morning around this time, around the 16-minute mark, just as a reminder as people are getting their day started. Maybe they're all frazzled. There's some days that I have anxiety and I'm like, I got to go for a walk or I got to get myself sorted. And having these little reminders, just keep that awareness in place. Right? So,
yeah, as you drink your coffee.
As I drink my coffee, exactly. So Tim, yesterday the news was released about GPT-4. You're in the AI industry. Are you finding a lot of people knocking on your door this morning already? They're reaching out, asking questions. Is there curiosity, or are people still getting used to what was announced yesterday?
I think they're getting used to what is being announced yesterday and see how they could use it and start playing with it. So that's where I think it is right now. And I know some companies out there are already touching and playing with it this morning. And I know a couple other friends out there that are playing with it too. They're trying to figure it out. And the use cases for how can they implement this in their fields right now.
Go ahead, Stewart.
I was going to say, do you see like any negative effects that it can have on humans? Like, you think it can make people lazier or make people like too dependent on the AI with all these updates? Because now it's like you just said, me and Keith, we don't even have to come on the podcast anymore. We don't have to come on the show if we don't want to. We can generate an image that knows our facial expressions, knows our cadence and stuff like that. So do you think it'll have any negative effects on humans?
I don't think it'll have a negative effect. What I think it will do is upscale us, where we have to upscale to be better at other things, and it'll take away the low-hanging fruits and have you do the harder stuff. That's all I see. And people just gotta realize it's not going to take jobs either. It's just going to upscale you.
For sure.
That's why I said with you guys, someone has to create the content still. So if you could do an image, and like I could have an image right now of me, and of me sitting here and all of a sudden create AI that'll automatically take my face and give it facial emotion and have it talk and all that. But someone had to create that content for it to even be able to present it.
I would argue though that see Marty and Tim, that you say somebody has to create that content. It's clear to me though we're moving into a world where agents are interacting with agents. At least that's the world that I'm seeing is happening.
Yeah,
That's how I'm thinking of, even when I'm building this platform here. I'm envisioning a day where I have an AI producer that's part of the show. I have an AI agent that knows the kind of guests I want, that goes and looks for the kind of guests I want, that books the guests that I want, interacts with the guests that I want, and me as the human and C Marty as the human has to show up and is part of that engagement process.
You still got to give the agent content to what you want. It's not going to just know it. You got to give it content to what you're looking for, criteria is, and all that.
Fair, but no different than a human though. So when I look at what was released yesterday, I can envision a space where I'm literally, like I'm talking with you and C Marty right now, where I'm looking at my camera and I'm talking to my agent and I'm saying, C Marty and Keith have a show tomorrow. I'm looking for an AI expert and we're communicating with it just like I'm communicating with you right now.
Yeah.
And then I say, go and find me. And then I go back to work and it goes, does all the work. Like that is not a far off statement.
No, that's not far off. That's right around the corner.
Like literally right around the corner, Tim Goebel.
Yeah, I think all it's going to take is someone to develop it because it's there already.
Yes.
And all the tools are there. Now let's put the tools together to build that. And it's there.
If you think about it, Zapier, right? It's an audible Zapier experience.
Yeah.
You connect GPT-4 with Zapier and you say, you use if this then scenario perspective in computer programming. It's not that complicated to see it through on how it's going to work.
And you could even probably build it yourself. Just use ChatGPT. I know
Yes.
probably tell you exactly. You have to figure out each section, and then it'll help you build it. But yeah, it'll help you get to where you need to be.
Yes. Yeah. To me, the two things that stood out yesterday, Marty and Tim, was the computer vision and the real-time translation and real-time computer vision. Right? That to me was most transformative, and the reduction in latency with voice conversations, where you can really very much have because I know I try to converse with my GPT agent as much as I can when I interact with my voice agent here, but I still find it sometimes the latency gets caught up. Once that improves, it's going to be a very magical experience.
Yeah, it's going to, just like you said, it's going to improve over time. It's just going to get better and better.
Were you surprised that OpenAI made the announcement yesterday in advance of what's happening with Google and Apple coming up around the corner?
I'm not surprised because they want to be the leaders. So what's the only way to do it? You got to put it out right away. They may not have all the bugs out of it, but that's how software works anyways. You put it out a little early anyways, and you start getting it and you start finding out all the bugs anyways. So I think they did the right thing, is get it out now.
And rumor has it that they are underpinning the next version of Siri being launched this June at WWDC. Again, when you see what happened yesterday, you can very much see it being part of a Siri experience.
Yeah. So are you going to use, my question would be is, are you going to use Siri or are you going to use OpenAI ChatGPT? Which one are you going to use? Because you don't need to use both. You could get away with me. I'd just stick with ChatGPT 4. 4.0, 4.0. That's what I would stick with because it's already outdoing Siri.
I believe they're going to sell it this way. I believe that Apple will position it as an on-device experience where you can, let's use Marty as an example. Marty's entire ecosystem might be an iPhone, but by him and they're going to sell privacy. They're going to sell it as an on-device experience. I suspect that they're going to sell it to you as Marty can interact with his entire ecosystem on device, private and secure, which might encourage Marty to use Siri over OpenAI, right? Where they're going to say, hey, see, Marty, your stuff sitting in OpenAI is not secure. It's in the cloud. And they're going to play upon the fear a little bit. But I think that might be how it's positioned. And then you as the consumer will we'll find a couple different ways to use it.
I see where you're saying that. I would have to argue with it. Is it actually more secured? Is Siri more secured? Is that you hear about Google being hacked into? You hear about Facebook stuff being hacked. Where is the security in the data? Who's more secured on the data? That's the question, and that needs to be starting to be figured out.
Yeah, it's a fair question. It's an absolutely fair question. I think
And you can definitely make an argument for that.
Mhm.
For sure. You know how the ads pop up if you're on Instagram or TikTok. You talk about something, and now I got ads on my phone. So you're right. Is it really secure?
Right. And here's the thing: is how is that data built? How is it built? Here, Siri. Here's all of us talking into Siri or Alexa or whatever we're using. They're taking that data and training the models. Now, let's say that how is OpenAI AI stuff going to be trained? It's going to be taking our voice, our stuff. They're going to be doing the same thing. So now how is it going to be secured? That's where it makes it who's going to be better? Who has the better security?
And we know Apple's going to be pumping that conversation. All right, bottom of the hour. We are happily joined, see Marty Fit, Tim Goebel, by the latest person to join the lab this morning, which is Nathan Hurd, joining us from, I believe, Colorado, Denver, Colorado, United States. Am I correct?
Denver, Colorado. You nailed it. How you guys doing?
Awesome, man. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing good. My nanny canceled this morning. She's sick. It's going to be a crazy day around here, but life's good. Can't complain.
You know what? I love that because that's real life right there, Nathan Hirsch, right? So basically anything we talk about with you, about your business, your life, everything going on, Marty, right now, all Nathan's thinking about, oh shit, the nanny's canceled. I got this to take care of. I got this to take care of. I got this to take care of. Everything we're saying is going in one ear and out the other, Nathan. I know, man, because I've been in your shoes before.
No, I got the whole day planned out, and now I'm thinking, all right, what can I scrap and push to tomorrow? What do I prioritize today? And what can I get done during nap time? So we'll figure it out.
Your nanny bot.
Right? That is what we need.
That's exactly it. So Nathan joins us. Let's just throw a quick little screen of Nathan up here on the screen. So Nathan joins us from Denver, Colorado. He's done 5K to 12 million bucks in annual revenue in 4 years with exit. He has scaled 4 B2B companies in the same way. The guy just does it the same way. Marty, Nathan's like, yeah, I got a system. I have a system and I'm doing it the same way over and over. And I wonder if he's teaching the nanny the system. And he offers daily advice for entrepreneurs. Excited to have Nathan here today. We're going to talk a little business and we're going to talk about how he helps companies use systems to scale. And he's got a great profile. Nathan's done it all right. He's got his featured stuff all done correctly. He's got a nice tight about. Oh, I love pumping on the profile. Good job, Nathan Hirsch.
Thank you. I just revamped it. This is a good time. If you had came by 3 weeks ago, you might have had some bad feedback on it. But we just spent some time on it.
It's looking nice and clean. This is a great example of a good LinkedIn profile. It's really nice and clean. You got it laid out properly. I got a good clear indication of who you are, and I know who you are right off the bat. Boom. Build your business with my systems. So Nathan Hirsch, who is Nathan Hirsch and what are your systems, man?
Yeah, I'm a longtime entrepreneur. I've actually never had a real job outside of some summer jobs and internships in high school and college. I built this textbook business out of my college dorm room and actually got a cease and desist letter from my college to knock it off because I was taking too much business away from the school bookstore. So that was my first glimpse into being an entrepreneur. And I loved it. I was addicted to it. I had no idea what I was doing. I was 21 and I started selling on Amazon. This was 2008, 2009, just really great timing. Got onto Amazon in the early days and sold about 25 million on Amazon. But that was the business where I made all the mistakes that young entrepreneurs make. I made bad hires. I opened up an office, which was a terrible investment. I learned a lot about just managing people and marketing gone wrong and building your own website, working with developers, you name it. And it wasn't until my next business that I felt like it really clicked. I built this marketplace, Free Up, pre-vetted marketplace for freelancers and VAs. And that's the company my partner and I started with $5,000. It was our first B2B business. We had to learn sales and marketing and all the stuff around working with clients, going to conferences, all that stuff that didn't really apply to Amazon back then. So we scaled that to 12 million. We were lucky enough to have an exit. Ironically enough, right before COVID, we sold it in November 2019. And since then, we've just been building businesses in big markets. We have Accounts Balance, my bookkeeping business now, where we're actually giving away 2 free months of bookkeeping if anyone's listening. We have Trio SEO, our SEO business, Outsource School, which teaches people how to hire. But yeah, we're all about keeping it simple. We focus on good hiring, good leadership, good SOPs, good finances, and good marketing channels, and really trying to just not reinvent the wheel. And we like to go into spaces like bookkeeping, where bookkeeping's been around forever. It'll hopefully be around forever. And we can just go in, take our small piece of it, usually around customer service and good client experience. So that's what we're all about.
I noticed when I looked at your businesses, Nathan, that you do keep it simple. Like nothing sexy, nothing overcomplicated, with all respect to your businesses, but you're like, no, bookkeeping, let's go make it better. No, let's go make hiring better. Let's go do these things that other people are doing and just do it better. Talk to the power of doing it better.
Yeah, not even doing it better too, but also keeping it even simple for the business model. Like our bookkeeping business, we only do one thing: charge you on the first, books by the 15th. We can help you clean and catch up your books, but outside of that, we have no other add-on services. There's no upsells. We don't do consulting, CFO services, sales tax, payroll, tax returns, ARAP, none of that stuff. It's strictly monthly bookkeeping. All our clients are charged on the first, books on the 15th, and that's lets you really focus, find your ideal client, target them. You have a simple sales pitch. It's easy for referrals, all that kind of stuff. And then even when we're talking about inside the business for making it simple, like we have this organic marketing blueprint. If you can grab it yourself, if you go to outsourceschool.com/organic marketing, but it's partnerships, podcasts, affiliates, SEO, backlinks. And we're not reinventing the wheel here, but we just have this system that we use for all of our businesses. We have clean books ourselves. We use our own bookkeepers. On the 15th of the month, we get our books, we review them, we make decisions based on what the numbers are telling us. We have a hiring process that we teach at Outsource School, and we use it in all of our businesses to make hires and keep them around from years to come. And that's really what we believe in, and what I think has been what's attributed to our success throughout the years.
It's exceptional. See, Marty, Tim?
Absolutely. You touched on like some of the struggles you dealt with in college. Can you expound on that a little bit more? And then just like any advice to anyone who runs into a wall or an obstacle in their business journey?
Yes. So I started off hiring a lot of college kids, and I quickly learned that college kids were really unreliable. They were smoking weed on the job, drinking on the job. I would go to their dorm and smash on their door to get them to wake up and actually work. And I was 20, so hiring like a 40-year-old to work for me was pretty intimidating. So that's when I got into virtual assistants, and now I'm obsessed with it. I build all my businesses with VAs. All my companies are 99% virtual assistants. I hire a lot from the Philippines. I made a post yesterday about why and some mistakes to avoid if anyone wants to check that out. But I pretty much used every bad hire I was making. Even when I started hiring VAs, I had people that would disappear, or their internet would go out, or all the common stuff that you would hear. And I kept just revamping my hiring process. What can I add to the interviewing? What can I add to the onboarding and setting expectations? Okay, everyone I hire, they have to have backup internet and a place to go when their internet goes out. They need a backup computer, stuff like that. So finally, after a few years of doing this and just revamping our interview process, we finally came out with our care interview process, which now we teach at Outsource School and we use in all of our companies. So we did that the same thing with bookkeeping. At first, we were doing it ourselves, which was a big mistake. Then we were dumping in our CPA and hiring college kids to do it. And eventually we found out, hey, you need a reliable monthly bookkeeper from day one. So now every time we start a company, even before we're profitable, before we prove the concept, we're hiring a bookkeeper from day one. And with FreeUp, hiring that bookkeeper from day one was one of the best business decisions we ever made. Because when we went to sell the company 4 years later, we had 4 years of immaculate books that helped us pass due diligence and made the hiring process still was stressful and all that, but it helped us survive it. So stuff like that, you can learn from your mistakes and never make the same mistakes twice, and really put systems in place to never let whatever mistake you made happen again.
Yeah. Hey, Tim, as you're listening to Nathan talk about business and systems, I can only imagine you relating to Nathan's emphasis on systems.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And him already talking about virtual bots or virtual assistants and all that as well. So that's where I'm like, okay, my mind's already moving, turning. Where else can it be used at? Especially with the new release of ChatGPT. So it made me start even thinking further.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Nathan, before we get into how OpenAI and ChatGPT might impact the business and get more into the business, we're going to flip on over to our creator spotlight here in a couple of minutes. But I want to stick on you for a moment. Always an entrepreneurial kid, like growing up, were you selling cookies from mom and dad's driveway? Or were you selling Kool-Aid? Like, do you always have that spirit of, I need to go make money, I want to be an entrepreneur? Or you said you discovered that earlier on. Where did you find that, Nathan?
I had a lot of failed lemonade stands, even rhubarb stands. We used to grow
True.
rhubarb, but the problem was my street wasn't that busy. So there wasn't much traffic. So I learned a lot about market there. But yeah, my parents always made me buy stuff if I wanted it. If I wanted a video game down the line, if I wanted a car, if I wanted a toy, whatever it was, I had to buy it. So whether it was allowance, mowing the neighbor's lawn, getting a job early when I was 15, it was all about, hey, if I wanted something, I had to earn it myself. So I think that's where the entrepreneur mindset came in.
There is extreme value in that. I am fortunate that I get to spend a lot of time talking with many guests come through the lab here. And it's incredible, Nathan, how common that thread is, where somebody growing up has been selling Kool-Aid, lemonade stand, cookies, or something at a young age, that inevitably there's a point in their life they're going to be an entrepreneur. Whether it's selling weed on the corner somewhere or selling Kool-Aid, it's just the idea of making your own money. And it's this inherent attribute that we have. And I've met enough people to know. That's why when I asked the question, Nathan, I was pretty convinced I knew the answer before I even asked it.
Yeah, it's fun being a dad now. You're thinking, like, what do you like about what your parents did and what do you not like? And I think growing up, like I obviously wasn't thrilled about it. I had friends whose parents would buy them everything. And now you're looking back in your 30s and you're like, man, that actually helped shape who you are. I'm curious how Generation Alpha, which I believe that's what my son is, like how with technology and AI and all the stuff that I didn't necessarily have maybe the first 15 years I was growing up, how that impacts everything. And how do you keep someone with that drive to do whatever they want to do? He doesn't need to be an entrepreneur, but still just that mentality of working hard and making it for yourself.
Yeah, so true. So true. All right, gentlemen, it's this point in the show. We are at the 42 minute mark. Jimmy is on me to make sure we get the creator spotlight done. So today, see Marty Fit. I reached out to Timothy Goebel and said, hey, Tim, who do we want to nominate for today's creator spotlight? And Tim said, you said, I'm pulling it up here, who are we nominating today, Timothy Goebel, for today's creator spotlight today in the lab?
Jeff Winter.
Jeff Winter is, here we go. Yeah, he is today's creator spotlight. He's an Industry 4.0 digital transformation enthusiast, business strategist, avid storyteller. Gotta have the applause coming, Nathan Hirsch. So as you can see here, Jeff is rocking the AI emphasis here by his banner here. In the age of AI, adapter left behind. Clearly, Jeff knows something about Industry 4.0, storytelling, tech geek, public speaker. Why did you nominate Jeff Winter, Timothy Goebel?
I met Jeff online many years, about a year ago, and finally there was a convention last week, and I finally got to sit down with him. We chatted up for about, at first it was only going to be a few minutes, and we're sitting there talking for about an hour and a half, and it was just amazing how much information he knew and how much information I knew. We're just like geeking out right there, right in the middle of the floor at a convention, and guy is so humble, down to earth, and easy to talk to, willing to share information. And that's why I picked him, and he even gave me insights how he got started with his LinkedIn. He goes, didn't you see my post? And I went to his post and read through it, and I was like, wow, okay, he really knows his stuff with it. So that's why I picked him. And I know right now he's given I don't know if it's today, but I know he's out giving a talk and that. But yeah, if people want to know 4.0 in manufacturing, I'd recommend him.
Awesome. And that's what's clear to me, that Jeff is an expert. He's in the manufacturing side of AI and technology, right? So if you are in the manufacturing space and you need to connect with somebody around automation and AI, it's clear, Timothy Goebel, that you want to check with Jeff Winter. Am I correct?
Yes, that's absolutely correct. And he's out of Chicago. So he's not far away from me either, which is nice.
That's awesome. So Jeff Winter, congratulations. You are today's creator spotlight here in the lab with myself, C. Marty Fit, Timothy Goebel, Nathan Hirsch, celebrating creators here in the lab. Of course, we have the Kraski Creator Spotlight coming up on Thursday, C. Marty Fit, where we are going to shine the light on more creators here in the lab. But we'll come back to that. Nathan Hirsch, so talk a little bit about, so before we go there, Timothy Goebel, Winter, what's his name again? Sorry.
Jeff Winter.
Key, come on, man.
Oh, Jeff Winter, you come back to the lab so you can pay it forward and nominate somebody else coming up here in Mornings in the Lab. Nathan Hirsch, so when you look at the announcement yesterday with ChatGPT and 4.0 and so forth, I'm not sure how much attention you paid to it, but when you look at that and you look at your business, do you see how that starts to wave into how it starts to weave into your world?
Yeah, we're always testing stuff with AI. Even on the bookkeeper side, we're always trying to test out different tools there. On the SEO side, like we're very determined to stick with real writers, but that doesn't mean that we don't use AI on the research side. And I can speak for like me personally. I have a media company that puts out all my content, all the content for the companies. And we love using AI for creatives and just for ideas of what videos can we film? What are some different topics that people care about to write blog content about? So that's how we use it. I try to pick industries that I don't think are going anywhere. Now that I know every industry will get affected in some way, and I'm sure people will make the argument that my industries will, but I look at stuff like bookkeeping, and in 25 years, I think people will still need bookkeeping. Sure, it'll change. So that's how I look at it. It's something we're always monitoring and always on top of, but we're also not in the camp of AI is going to take over the world and put us all out of business. And if that happens, it happens, but there's really no point in worrying about it. You stay up to times on what's going on, you make adjustments to your business, you try to implement AI wherever you can, and that's how we look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like Tim said earlier, it'll probably take away some of the busy work and just upscale your business. You can focus on other things or more important things.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely makes our VAs more productive, and it gives people skills that they're not naturally great at. Like our bookkeepers, they're great bookkeepers, great people, but they're not the best at writing emails to clients. So just using AI to write email templates, like that alone saves them a lot of time where they would overthink it. So stuff like that, you can just make small moves and save people time on a big level helps your bottom line.
That's a really good example, Nathan, of upscaling the VA industry, right? Because I don't think we talk enough about that, where to your point, you've taken a skill set they're good at and adding some AI tools now makes that VA increasingly more valuable, doesn't it?
Yeah, and they learn from it too, because they'll be able to read those templates and be able to picture what future emails look like. I have VAs that do research for me, and that helps them get out of their own set way of doing research that maybe they've done for the past 5 years. So there's, to me, I just love it on the creative side. That's where I think it benefits me personally the most.
It makes me wonder, actually, and just thinking out loud and listen to us speak here, it makes me wonder the influence that GPT-4 and the announcement yesterday is going to have on English-speaking humans, and how it's going to be that much easier for somebody living in a different market, a different part of the world, to learn how to speak English, especially a VA. Nathan, you're talking about writing emails or not being confident speaking English because it's not your first language. Man, you now have a expert English person talking with you all the time. Your skills are going to improve very quickly and very rapidly.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen this where I've hired people, not bookkeepers, but people for the bookkeeping business on maybe the marketing side or admin side or whatever. And instead of having to spend a lot of time training them on the ins and outs of bookkeeping, they can just use AI and ask questions and pick up pretty quickly and get an overall summary enough to be dangerous. So that's been super helpful.
Yes. Tim, questions for Nathan?
No, I was going to comment on something. You said use ChatGPT to create emails and that. Realistically, what I've built before is emails being sent and then stripping out all the information out of the email to find out what's going on in it. Pretty soon, it's already here where you're going to have ChatGPT write the email. It's already going to go to the client. Who knows what they're going to have? They could be using ChatGPT to respond, where it's all the whole pipeline's already full circle. So now you don't even have to come up with a response. It's already doing the response for you. If it's attachment, it's already going to put all the information where you need to put it, especially if it's analytics or billing. it'll put all the information where you need to put it and do the analytics and send out the bill back to the person. So that whole pipeline is going to be right there. Like, I think within the next, I think most of it's already there. Because I built the one for medical transcripts for doing that. So that's why I was thinking, hearing your email analogy, you could get the response too from that.
Yeah, we had a client do this yesterday. An SEO client signed up and we do like a kickoff call. We make sure we know who their ideal customer is. And they used AI to really define their ideal customer. And they just copied, pasted it, they proofread it, send it to us. And that worked and saved them a lot of time. So we're already seeing that when it comes to emails.
Yeah.
That's exceptional. Nathan, as we wrap up our sit down with you this morning here in the last few moments, what's the future hold for Nathan Hirsch and your businesses? And are you starting 4 more, 5 more? Do you give advice to entrepreneurs to always run multiple businesses at once? Or because are you running 1 right now, or do you have 4 going right now?
I have 4. I hire operators for each business from day one. I have a media company that does a promotion of my personal brand, Connor, my partner's brand, Connor Gillivan. You should follow him on LinkedIn if you're not already. And then we use that to promote 2 our different businesses. So we'll keep adding businesses. We need to find the right operators for them. And yeah, our goal is to have 10 plus cash flowing businesses and 1 media company that runs all the marketing for them. It's funny. I used to have a different mentality. Like I ran Free Up for years. For 4 years, all I did was eat, sleep, breathe, Free Up. And that worked. We scaled it very well and sold it. I was also working lots of hours. I was younger. I didn't have a kid. Times were different. And there's pros and cons to both. I think post-exit, diversifying makes a lot of sense. Not that I want any of my businesses to fail, and hopefully they don't. But if they do, it's not the end of the world. I don't have all my eggs in one basket. I already went through an exit. I'm not going to go homeless, but it also gives you upside. If you're building a lot of different businesses, you don't know which one's going to actually take off and blow up. And the other ones can just be cash flowing, and we keep our businesses pretty lean, no debt, all that kind of stuff too. So it's fun to build businesses in maybe a different way than I did in my 20s.
Entrepreneurial learnings with Nathan Hirsch, mornings in the lab. It's not advice that I think we normally hear from entrepreneurs, right? Which is, I'm going to go start a multiples. I'm going to manage cash flow, and you're going to hire operators. And I applaud you for taking that stance, which is, I'm going to start something, but I'm going to hire operators to run them. And I would welcome you back for a further conversation, Nathan, because I think that's something that many get wrong as they're growing their businesses, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're stuck in fulfillment, you're going to stress yourself out. You're not going to be able to start multiple companies. I wouldn't be able to run 4 companies if I was in operations for all 4. And if you ever want to sell a business, no one wants to buy a business that the owner is the operator. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It comes with its own challenges, of course, just like anything else. But we have a system we're building, and we love our operators and our team, and just the flexibility too. Like right now, I work 7 to 3 every day. I'm done by 3. Pick up my kid from the nanny. I don't work weekends. I don't go to conferences. I say I'm retired from conferences. I do 0 work travel. I do one or 2 podcasts or lives a week. So I'm very strict on my time, and it forces me to do that because I'm not a bookkeeper. So I can't run a bookkeeping business where I'm the fulfillment on bookkeeping business. So it challenges you to be above the business, have a really good operator that you trust in there, and build out from there.
Yeah. Great learnings, Nathan Hirsch. Great learnings. I think I got to have you and your partner back, sit down in the lab here for a longer conversation around what you guys have built, because I believe you can teach a lot of entrepreneurs the systems that have made you successful. And I'd love to hear more to share that with others. Would you do that with me?
Yeah, absolutely. And if anyone wants, I post content every day, 5 a.m. Mountain Time. Follow me, Nathan Hirsch, on LinkedIn. And I already mentioned, if you're looking for a bookkeeper, if you sign up this week to accountsbalance.com, you get 2 free months.
Awesome. Timothy Goebel, what do you got going on for the day today, Nate, my friend? How can people find you as we get on with our day today?
They can find me on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn every day. You can find me. I'm on there. I post every day, every morning at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. It's tea time, but that's where you can find me. And if you want to reach out, you can connect with me on LinkedIn or send me a DM on there, and we can chat it up, cut it up, and demystify your problems in your business if you need help. And yeah, with AI.
Awesome. Tim, thanks for joining us on Last Minute. See, Marty Fit, what do you got going on today, my friend?
Got some more clients, get a workout in, get some things done. And yeah, that's about it. Create some content, maybe edit a little content. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Today in the lab, we got Brian Smeltzer joining me live at noon. We're going to have a conversation. Brian is a brand disruptor. The guy has created I think like Nathan creates businesses, Brian creates brands. So I'm looking forward to the conversation today at noon with Brian Smelter. Going to dig into an in-depth conversation about brand building with Brian Smelter. But that brings us to the end today, guys. I'm glad you guys joined me. Nathan Hirsch, thanks for coming in to talk about accounts balance and your entrepreneurial journey. Timothy Goebel, thanks for jumping in and joining us about AI and what we announced yesterday with OpenAI and ChatGPT. Jeff Winter, congratulations on being called out for today's Creator Spotlight. And C. Marty Fit, thanks for jumping in, man. We had a great chat today, and all was well here in the lab. All right, guys.
Sure. Nice to meet you, fellas.
Nice to meet you guys.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to rock and roll, get it on the loop. We'll be back up here in 4 minutes on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. You guys can find us every single day, mornings in the lab here on LinkedIn, YouTube, X, Twitch, all the platforms, 8 o'clock Eastern time. We go for a couple hours and we go here in the lab at noon Central time. And then, of course, you can find C. Marty Fit on his YouTube channel as well. All right, we're getting better every single day. Guys, we'll see you. We'll see you later and see you tomorrow.
See you later.
All right, see you guys.
See you later.
Boom, boom.